Pizza Jaffa's orange grows. Microchips is us. iPhone cameras us. Taco salads us. Knows us. Olive Garden us. White phosphor us. Sabra Hamas. Hezbollah us.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bad Hasbara.
Free at last, thank God Almighty. It's the world's most moral podcast.
My name is Matt Lieb. I will be your most moral co-host for this podcast.
I'm Daniel Mate, your other most moral podcast. Happy MLK Day, Matt.
That's right. Happy MLK Day to you as well, and to everyone out there watching this the day after MLK Day. I hope it was fun. I hope you enjoyed your day off of work if you got one. I don't remember whether or not did Trump make it not a holiday anymore. I feel like that's something he did, right?
I think it's still a holiday.
It's still a holiday. He still hasn't gotten to that part of Project 2025. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, good. Enjoy it, everyone. I know I am enjoying. I'm working right now. But that's the thing. Yeah. We rain or shine. We're like the postal service.
That's exactly right. And you know, Martin Luther King lived and fought and died so that we could do what the hell we wanted on his birthday, including making a podcast about Israeli propaganda.
That's right. And
he did it for us, really. He did it for us. It was about us.
Yeah. When he...
Civil rights, us.
Yes, civil rights, us. Yes. When he was fighting for civil rights, he was thinking about the podcasters in the future. And for that...
Thank Pod Almighty. We are...
Thank Pod Almighty.
This episode is free at last.
So enjoy your free one, everyone. Patreon.com/badasbara if you want to get a pay one. That's right. We do an extra one every week. And so if you want more us, well, then go to that link and join the Patreon. Do it.
Do you have a dream? Well,
you have a dream,
your dream does not need to be a dream anymore.
That's right.
If you will it,
be reality.
If you will it, you get an extra episode.
If you will it, you have a dream.
Martin had a dream. Herzl had a dream.
Herzl did have a dream. Well, anyways, patreon.com/badasbar. Do that. Email us, badasbar@gmail.com. I'm telling you that now. Why not? Shout out to producer Adam Levin on the ones and twos. And make sure you subscribe wherever you are to get your free podcast.
And on YouTube, get us to 50.1. Damn it.
Yeah. Well, 51.
Or is it 51? 51. Yeah, 51.
Yeah, we're like at 50.8 or something. So it's pretty good. Remember when we were just stuck at under 50, and now look at us. We're rocketing closer to 51. The momentum. You can't even calculate the momentum. It's like a freight train of success.
Physicists are working around the clock to try to
try
to describe the mathematics of our exponential growth.
Exactly. We defy physics. Somehow able to never gain momentum. Our sponsor today's episode is brought to you by United Palestinian Appeal. United Palestinian Appeal has worked in Gaza for 45 years and is currently providing critical pharmaceuticals, medical supplies, and vaccines in the region. Additionally, they provide farm aid, clothing, and sleeping bags for families in Gaza. If you have any money, you can donate it right now to upaconnect.org. That's upaconnect.org. Do it. They need your money more than we do, and probably more than you do. But you know, who knows? But yes, I know they need it more. So do it. Daniel, what is the spin?
Well, it's a bit of a grab bag today, but on several themes. So number one, it is MLK Day, and you mentioned the threat to that as a national holiday. Well, one of the main reasons it became a national holiday, you know which music legend we have to thank for that?
Oh, if I had to guess, I would say David Bowie.
Not quite.
Oh, it's close.
Stevie Wonder.
That was gonna be the next one.
Happy birthday to. Yeah, it was a big part of the campaign, and
really,
and it's since become the sort of the Black Happy Birthday, as it's known.
Yeah.
If you go to
that is-
a cookout for someone's birthday, you're not going to hear happy birthday. Dun, dun.
Yeah, that's what I call it. I always, whenever I hear it, I go, "Hey guys, this is the Black Happy Birthday."
I'm
really
telling
get
you,
the.
man. I guess you just haven't gotten invited to the cookout, Matt, because that is what they call it.
I've been to the cookout, and I'll tell you, they sing in the Black Happy Birthday. It's a different type of birthday. It's kind of like the Wiz. It's the Black Wizard of Oz. I don't know why when I say black, I just turn into my dad saying the word black.
I wonder how Martin would feel about a segregated happy birthday song, you know?
Oh, exactly.
Separate but equal,
all
but not equal.
birthdays
But not equal,
matter.
because this song rocks a lot
Yeah.
harder. And then also Max Roach, the jazz drummer, with his Freedom Now suite, which is an incredible testament of the civil rights from about 1960. He ended up doing a drum piece, a percussion piece called I Have a Dream or something like that. Or he sampled Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream and played drums to it. Kind of like you see a lot of Instagram
Yeah, right. People
dudes
playing
these
piano
days,
to
like, yeah,
someone's weird sort of cadence or something like that. It's
Yeah,
usually
but it was-
done sort of comedically, I've seen. I
this
like
was not
it.
comedic.
I love that, especially since I think Martin Luther King has a rhythmic cadence, so it actually works quite well. What I like is that album is called We Insist.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that there's, a reason for that, but it just reminds me of me and my wife going out to dinner with another couple and trying to get the bill. No. We insist.
That's very good. Then I've got an Iranian record. I still don't have A Flock of Seagulls, Iran So Far Away, so I can't include that. Iran So Far Away. But I do have Kurosh Yagmieh, who, look at this fucking dude. Look at this badass dude.
Yes.
Samira in the green room is giving 2 thumbs up.
Nice.
Back from the Brink. This is, I think, pre-revolution, 70s, like psych folk. Amazing music. And then, because we have a Canadian guest, I'm going to grandfather in a whole bunch of Canadian music. This is the album Ghetto Blaster by my buddy So-Called, Josh Dolgan, who does the music for Canadaland and is also an amazing musician. Klezmer, hip-hop, turntablist, DJ, magician, cartoonist. And this is the 20th anniversary edition of this album. The original was this same woman when she was a little girl sipping on the straw. But this is the 20th edition. It's a beautiful album called Ghetto Blaster. And then Propagandhi from Winnipeg, Potemkin City Limits. Great fucking hardcore punk band. City and Color, which is a indie folk group act out of Canada. Got to include some classics. So we got Anne Murray, who basically she's the aesthetic model for every second grade teacher in Canada. They all look like her.
Oh, damn.
This way is my way.
my.
Then we got Gordon Lightfoot. Tell me who the fuck he looks like in this picture.
Bryan Cranston.
He looks like if Walter White had been doing his business in the 1970s.
I love it. He looks like a mixture of Jesse Pinkman and Walter White together. I love it.
That's right. Yeah.
Beautiful. Hair,
Breaking
too.
Bad, North of the Border edition. Neil Young, Comes a Time. Amazing album by my Mr. Young. Couple more. Just a couple. Bruce Cockburn, got to get him in. And this is his album, The Charity of Night, which is my favorite album by him. Gorgeous album by Mr. Cockburn.
How dare you.
And finally, Loverboy, their greatest hits. Everybody's partying for the weekend.
Yeah.
Great
I love it.
Vancouver group.
I was waiting for just one. I was waiting for Sami Yusuf, who's a Iranian-born British singer, Muslim singer. I kind of that's if I had a what's the spin, that's what it would be for this episode, because we're going to be talking a lot about Iran. Shout out to Sami Yusuf. I assume his politics are dope. But he had an album in 2003 that my Iranian friend used to play all the time, and it got me really into Islamic music. I mean, it's very British and sort of like Western, but it was all like it was half in Farsi, half in Arabic.
Hmm.
It had songs like Muhammad, that's a sick one. It's good. And then Al Mualem is the name of the album and the name of the best song on the album.
Fuck it. Throw it on the playlist.
Throw it on the playlist. Sammy
That's an
Youssef,
executive
Mualem.
decision. And also, if you could throw on Iran So Far Away by Flock of Seagulls, I'd be very happy.
Yeah, do it. Do it now. He was Muhammad. I don't know like how to, because I don't speak it, but it was a fucking
That's
good
dope.
ass album.
I gotta.
It was dope. It's like
out.
for real dope. I remember just being like, "Oh shit, okay."
Sammy Youssef.
Who is the loved one? Allah. Who is Al Rahman? Allah. It was so sick. Anyways,
You should take that act out on the street with a guitar and busk like you used to with Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Days.
Yeah.
I think. I wonder how it would go. I think people would like it, honestly. The problem is he's a good singer. I'm not a good singer. Okay, we have to introduce our guest. Very excited to have a returning champion back on the podcast. The Toronto-based Iranian-Canadian journalist you know from On the Line Media. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, welcome back to the podcast, Samira Mohyeddin. What's up? How you doing?
Gentlemen, how are you?
Well, living life. How you doing?
Living large.
Living large, living
Yep.
life.
Living the dream.
Yeah, this is it. This is the dream. Not just MLK's dream, but everyone's dream. For us to be podcasting on an American national holiday. Now, you guys don't celebrate that in Canada, do you?
No,
Hmm.
we do not. No, we have no MLK celebrations here.
Do you have
we,
like
we add
only
an
have
I and call it.
nightmares.
We add a letter and call it Milk Day.
Milk Day, yeah.
Oh, I love milk. That's great. Do you guys I guess you don't have like an MLK. Like, who's your guy? Let me Mark Maron this. Who are your guys?
I mean, we have Louis Riel Day,
Yeah.
which
He was
I
a
think is
Métis
really,
leader.
yeah, I think it's quite confined to Manitoba, though. I don't think
Yes.
anybody celebrates
it's not
it outside,
national.
right? Yeah.
It's not national.
And then I don't think
Like
we have
Terry
any day.
Fox. Terry Fox, the guy. There's no day for him. He's the
But
guy
there's
who,
no
the
national
one-legged
day.
guy who tried to run across Canada
Yeah, we have Victoria
and
Day.
failed.
have
What's
Victoria.
Victoria Day?
Queen
You know,
Victoria.
Queen Victoria.
Oh, no, I don't know that.
Yeah.
It's one of the queens?
hmm
She's the Queen Mum.
Oh. No, I don't know. That's
The mother of
queen's
the queen.
mother? Like
The mother of all mothers.
Elizabeth's mom?
Yeah,
Lizzie's
Charles's
mom.
grandma.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Played Dawn on Beverly Hills 90210. Okay, good to know. Thank you, producer Adam. Samira, we are going to be talking a lot about Iran today.
Miga. Talk
yeah.
about Miga.
We'll talk about, excuse me?
Make Iran great again. Miga.
Yeah, that's what they call it. That is.
We're all walking around going, you my Miga.
Yeah. I feel like there's really setting us up for disaster with that one. Although I guess if you're already someone who's like MAGA but Iran, you probably are saying that with a hard eye, at least.
Me.
Yeah.
Problem is, it also stands for Make Israel Great Again.
Oh,
yeah.
interesting.
That's a bonus. It's a bonus.
Look at that. Oh, I wonder if there's any connection there. Do you see any connection there, Samira?
No, not at all.
Well, so Samira, my understanding, just based on a cursory reading of the history, that to make Iran great again would be to reinstall that Motown girl group, the Sha Sha Sha.
The Shahs, the Shirelles. No, I mean this is decades of work by satellite televisions. These are the Iranian satellite TVs that really are just hearkening to this nostalgia. There is a nostalgia, when your aunt says to you, we used to go to cabarets and we'd gamble and there were clubs and discos. And
Right.
This is what's being fed to this generation. And listen,
Sometimes I'd show a little ankle. Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
Every propaganda has a little bit of truth in it. And
Sure.
it's just gone wild from there. It's a perfect perfect clusterfuck to bring this sort of nationalism together and to
Mhm.
start with all the rhetoric of like, we are not Arab, we are ancient civilization. I mean, all of that is tied into this, you know? And then you
Right.
bring in the Israel and, you know, the Jewish people, and Cyrus saved you, and we are two ancient cultures that have been together for millennia, and there's this 50-year blip where things didn't go right, but we're going to make it great again. And
Right.
that's what this is about. I mean, you see the Israeli flags at a lot of these protests, which is
Yeah.
it is
Yeah, could
so
we show a clip,
painful.
Matt, of right in your hometown there, Samira?
Yeah.
This
There
is
was
I mean, these are some committed marchers. I mean, looks like it's pretty snowy where you are. We had a
yeah,
little
and
bit of
this
snow
is
here in New York, but
this is an
nothing like
account called
Toronto.
Iranian American, and it says Iranians in Toronto showed guts like no one else in the world yesterday, marching through freezing snow and brutal winds to stand with the people of Iran and tell the Canadian government to stop sucking up to the regime. And that is accompanied by this video of people marching in Toronto. Here it is. So you see in the background flags, including a real big Israeli flag, and it does look cold as shit. You know, that's fun. Now some of these flags I don't recognize.
Punch buggy, white and blue.
Okay, punch your nearest guy then. Yeah. So
And they're
this is-
chanting. The chant is, yeah, Pahlavi will return.
Okay,
So,
so hold on.
let's.
Pahlavi
yeah.
is the son of the Shah.
Yes, he's the crown prince of the former Shah of Iran, Mohammad Reza Shah.
Right.
Okay. Now, let's just back up for a second. Because
Mhm.
this is, I confused. I not confuse easily.
Yeah, he's smart.
Usually Matt
knows.
confuse.
Matt always confused. Matt lives baseline confused. But when
That's
Daniel
right.
confused, then
Daniel
I'm really
confused?
confused.
Shit confusing.
Yeah.
Now, I shared with you, Samira, an article on Substack, I think
Mhm.
it was, or N+1 or one of
N
these.
plus one.
N+1. One of these like intelligent publications that did a good job for me of like sorting my hemispheres out, because when I look at Iran, obviously I have my anti-Western imperial lens and my anti-Zionist lens, and a huge amount of suspicion of any propaganda that does exactly what you laid out in your intro, right? Harkening back to Cyrus and Persia and how Iran is Western and we need to make it great again and all that. And at the same time, something in me feels a little rotten when I consider that, well, my ignorant ass might be dismissing out of hand aspects of the protests that are genuine. We have a family friend who died in an Iranian prison under the current regime, or sorry, whose father died. You know, I know other people.
Yeah,
who
but
have had
where is he
family
now?
members. What's that?
Where is he? Where is he now?
In heaven.
Do you want me to say in heaven with 72 virgins?
His son, who is also a very good friend of mine, went back to Iran 6 months ago.
Oh, you know who I'm talking about.
Absolutely. He's a good friend of mine. He's in Iran. He went back to Iran 6 months ago. So if it's such a hell, if it's such an oppressive, hellish place, why would this guy go back? And all of his posts from there are, I'm having the best time of my life. I'm so glad I came back here. I mean, Iran is not a monolith. Iran is something different to every single Iranian. It is a country of 92 million people. 92 million, the size of Western Europe. So anybody who comes and tells you Iranians are this or Iran is that is full of shit.
Right. Okay, I got that. So the article I shared with you, though, was stressing the ways that the current government has exploited the U.S. sanctions, and the U.S. has exploited internal unrest, and there just seems to be a big cycle of mutual exploitation of narratives. Matt, you were going to ask a question, but I mean, what I'm driving towards is, can you give us an overall picture that doesn't pay lip service, you know, to whatever should be supported or honored about what's going on there, whatever is spontaneous, whatever is grassroots, whatever is class-based? I think that would be one of my principles for things to support. How do we keep our heads about ourselves as we watch what's unfolding?
I'm going to try to do this in 2 minutes. Okay. Pre-revolution 1979. You guys are all familiar with Michel Foucault, very well-known sociologist, French. Michel Foucault went to report on the revolution in Iran and was talking about this spiritual awakening and Khomeini being this Gandhi-like figure. You know, there were op-ed pieces in the New York Times by Richard Falk, very well-known international human rights lawyer, saying we should trust Khomeini. He is not going to be an oppressive person. He's inclusive, all of this stuff. And Khomeini himself at the time was saying, I'm going to bring freedom, you know, freedom of expression, freedom from torture, all of these things. That didn't happen. Okay. Iran became an extremely repressive, oppressive government, killing thousands of people in the summer of 1988 in the jails. 6,000 people were killed. This isn't hyperbole. It's very well known. You can go look it up. However, as all of this is going on, you have these crippling sanctions placed on Iran.
Starting when?
Well, the biggest ones have started about 20 years ago. But when Iran took the American embassy hostage in 1979, that's when these sanctions really started. So they took the 52 Americans hostage, and it was just this constant, and then the war started with Iraq. America was helping Iraq. They were using chemical weapons against Iranians. 800,000 people were killed in an 8-year war of attrition. And then in 1989, Iran started to open up a little, right? The world started coming in and all of this. And then the first mass protest happened in 1999. And during the Islamic Republic, this was by the students. It was called the Student Movement. And it happened in August of 1999. Hundreds of students were killed. And it was all because this newspaper was shut down. Iranian civil society at the time was really burgeoning. It had one of the largest presses in the whole of the Middle East. All of these newspapers were opening up. All of this was happening. And it was under Khatami. Okay. Then you move to the Green Movement. Again, this was, fraudulent elections. Mousavi should have won. This is back in 2009. Again, hundreds of people killed, jailed, imprisoned. And then from 2017 on, a successive just hamster wheel of protests happening. And then in 2019, again, hundreds of people killed. And then you remember the Masa Amini uprising, thousands arrested, hundreds of people killed.
That's women life freedom.
Women life freedom. Then we come to this protest, which began on December 28th. We know from many of the protesters' accounts themselves that in the first 2 days, people were protesting. Even the government itself came out and said, Pezeshkian, who's the president right now, said people have a right to protest. We do have major economic problems. We do have corruption. We're going to fix it. All of this stuff. And then things got fucking ugly.
Right. And when did that happen? Those first 2 days? What days were those?
December 28th it started. By January 1st, which is when you saw Mike Pompeo fucking tweet out.
That's right.
Mike Pompeo tweeted out, there are Mossad agents walking beside them. Happy New Year to the Iranians and the Mossad agents walking behind them.
Like, saying that out loud is such a crazy thing to do when you just say, I just want to shout out to the free people of Iran who are just trying to do whatever these Mossad agents are getting them to do.
But it wasn't just him. It was Israeli officials. Amichai Eliyahu, the heritage minister, saying, we're on the ground. He said, we have a hand in this. I mean,
it's about time the handlers get their flowers. It's about time the covert agents, the agents provocateurs, they never get fucking named for some reason.
It's sad to be covert when you just want to be overt a little bit, I want to be an overt op for once.
No more hiding. So anyways, the thing with this is, I want to go back to what Daniel was saying about, not being a shit and like not trying to take away from Iranian people.
Not being a stereotypical tankie who just closes his eyes to anything that might contradict the anti-imperialist narrative without giving up my anti-imperialism. For instance, you mentioned the sanctions, right? One of my, again, first principles, without knowing much about the individual situations all over the earth, is that if a country has been subject to brutal U.S. sanctions for a long time, I'm going to look askance at any Western reports of some heroic, pure, protest movement, even if there is
economic unrest,
right.
being the impetus for it, and then being like, man, can you believe what the Iranians are doing? Not to say that, of course, there's more things than just sanctions going on in Iran, but
right,
we're going to sit here saying that, yeah,
exactly.
It's really economic. It's economic warfare. That's what it is. And the other thing is also that you have the sanctions, but then on top of that, you have serious corruption and mismanagement. See, a lot of people think that this government will just fall because, somebody comes out and burns a building or does whatever in Iran. This government is so entrenched in Iran's economy. What sanctions have actually done is create an underground black market economy, and they have enabled the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, which is this paramilitary group that guards the revolution. See, you didn't have that in 1979 during the Shah, when they brought the Shah down. We now have a 3-tier army in Iran. There is a weird sort of Stasi called the Basij that basically keeps an eye on society and the universities. And so that there's that. And then there's the IRGC, which guards the revolution itself, the ideals of the revolution. And then you have the National Army, which I don't even know what they do in Iran. They're like non-existent. And then you have the police or whatever, but the official police. So all of these things, you're not seeing the defections. You're not seeing the things that you would need to have an actual revolution. Right. All you're seeing are people burning things and people in the diaspora yelling, Pahlavi is coming back. But I want to get back to what Daniel was saying, because these are real protests happening inside the country. Is there foreign meddling? 100% there's foreign meddling. But that doesn't mean that people in Iran aren't fucking pissed off. They are. Right. You know what I mean? And these mullahs, these clerics that you see wrapped in these cloths and they're like crawling, to a slow fucking zombie-like death. They don't live these Gnostic lives, in a cave or whatever. They're fucking billionaires, okay? Khamenei has so much money stored away in his Swiss banks. They're set up. Their families are set up. Sanctions aren't hurting Khamenei. He's good. It's hurting the people. And I firmly believe, and I'm saying this as someone who, I'm going to be honest with you guys, 10 years ago, if you asked me about sanctions, I would have said, yes, targeted sanctions, very smart. Sanctions are the reason, I firmly believe, why this government is in power. If you had opened up Iran, if you had let Iran become part of the international community, join the market, be able to come and go, not put these crippling sanctions on people, on companies, Iran, this sort of system of governance, people would have been able to do away with it a long time ago.
Makes total sense. It makes total sense that the explicit, we talk about the failure of the war on drugs. No, as The Wire argued, it's not a failure, it's a total success. The sanctions, it seems to me the natural aim of sanctions and predictable result is to isolate and destabilize and create pretext.
I mean, I want to break this up. For people who are listening, please go and look at the effect that the pistachio market, because one of Iran's biggest exports is pistachios. In 1979, when the U.S. put these sanctions on Iran, all of a sudden California pistachios began flooding the market. There is a great research done on the pistachio wars. Look that up. It's really fascinating.
There's a Zionist couple that owns like a huge amount of land in north of Los Angeles, right?
Yes.
And like huge amount of water monopoly. And Chapo did an episode on that. It's a crazy story.
It's great.
And you're saying that this was done specifically as sort of like economic warfare against the number one export. Interesting. That is
100%. It was.
I still remember Stephen Colbert shilling for that pistachio company.
You know what? Now I actually do remember that when he would do pistachio shit. Oh, that's fun. That's always nice to know when your heroes are actively doing imperialism. Well, I think what is interesting about this subject, and also what makes people afraid of it, is trying to thread this needle, right? I've seen a lot of leftists, whether they be journalists or pro-Palestine journalists or just, pro-Palestine posters or whatnot, being stuck in this position of going, well, I don't know how to thread the needle of supporting the people of Iran without supporting U.S. intervention.
Mhm.
And it's comes from a place that I'm still trying to analyze myself. Like I don't like putting down people who are trying to show solidarity with people, but I also part of me thinks ego is a big issue here, especially within the American left. And I'm speaking just as an American. You guys are Canadian. To me, you're basically like foreigners. But
Merci beaucoup.
For myself, I mean,
Va te faire foutre.
I think that a lot of American leftists need to be honest about their position as Americans and leftists. I mean, they need to be honest about what is the real impact that they have and what is just branding. And the amount of people I've seen who are trying to thread this needle, I feel like it's come from just a place of needing to feeling like they need to comment on something in which they would end up, through their nuanced take, essentially offering sort of like an imperial consensus with the rest of the war hawks. And I'm like, do we really need this? Do we really need this kind of commentary?
And for those who don't, those who don't speak out, there's this wave of, why aren't you speaking out? Someone posted an Instagram video about me, like a series of Instagram stories, some guy who follows me, and he admitted that he follows me. I don't know, because he likes my dad or something.
Look,
and he's like, where is Daniel Mate in all this? Interesting.
Where are you,
Interesting.
Daniel?
I'm right here.
We're coming to hang you. I mean, our own community is not doing itself a service either. We have become disgusting bullies in this. I've listened to some asinine takes by Iranians. I mean, you had a woman, I think she's Fox News's weather lady or something. I don't know what she is. Lisa Daftari saying that more people have been killed in Iran in 3 days than in Gaza's 3 years in Gaza.
Oh, that was on Piers Morgan, right?
Fuck are you talking about? How can you say that?
What's worse than that is on NPR recently, my wife was telling me this, Francesca Fiorentini. Just want to let everyone know she's my wife.
Shout out.
And she was saying that she was listening to NPR and she heard one of their political roundtable shows. She heard one of the analysts, or maybe it was a guest, essentially say that there is no diplomatic solution with Iran. And doing it in the most NPR way, as much as it pains me to say it, I just don't think there's reasoning with this government or these people. And it's one thing, I think, for the right wing to offer their usual daily dose of imperial slop. It's another for the sort of meek NPR liberal capitulation to it, where you are essentially allowing yourself to be a part of the chorus that says, well, regime change is the only option, even if they say they're against it, I
don't think we should
spread some imperialist pate on your milk toast.
Yes.
But the thing is, I don't think we should abandon Iranian protesters because of all this shit. See, I agree. The problem here is that I think, I recently interviewed Antony Lowenstein, the investigative journalist and author of Palestine Laboratory. He called this the mother of all distractions. The only person that's winning when it comes to this sort of narrative about why aren't you speaking out on Iran when you spoke out on is Israel.
Yes.
Israel is the one winning here. And you'll notice that it's a lot of Israeli influencers who are saying this.
Yes.
Oh, let me show you all the encampments happening on crickets. I mean, that's the language that's being used. And then you have, higher ups, sort of, by higher ups, sorry, I shouldn't say that, but people like David from The Atlantic sort of spewing the same bilge,
Another
where
Canadian.
are all the encampments?
No, literally, these are all the exact same people who used to tell you all the time, all of your posting and marching does nothing. This is what they would tell you. And now they are all in unison saying, why aren't you posting and marching about Iran? Like, it's either it does nothing or it does something. And I'm, of course, in the camp of believing that it does something. It does something when you speak out against imperialism. It does something when you use whatever platform, however small it may be, to go against the grain of the stormtroopers marching. So when these people are telling you now, after 2 years of genocide and them ignoring your posting and marching, if they're telling you now, why aren't you doing this? It's because they want you to do it, because it does have an effect. And that, to me, should be caution enough for you to think, well, maybe I have some responsibility in what I say and how I support people's either in Iran or anywhere.
But
Well,
it's really
speaking of-
hard.
oh, go ahead.
It's really hard to not see the hypocrisy in all this too, because
Mhm.
a lot of the same people who are saying, "Why aren't you talking about Iran?" By the way, I talk a lot about Iran. I fucking post about it. I write about it in the Globe and Mail, but still I get these messages from Iranians. You're not a real Iranian. All of this bullshit.
I
These
saw
are the
one
sa-
taking you to task for your Arab-sounding name from a
Oh,
guy
yes.
named Mohammed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the brain, it's just, we're not doing ourselves a favor, by waving Israeli flags. These are the same people who were quiet as a genocide was going on. So I don't believe them. I don't believe I don't believe they're genuine. I don't believe they have integrity. I don't believe they give a shit about universal human rights. This is
Sure.
navel gazing. It's disgusting. And to me, it's breeding a vile form of anti-Arab racism and nationalism. We're Persian. We're not Arab.
Right.
Motherfucker, there are 2 million Arab-speaking people in Iran. The
Right.
south of Iran is Arab.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
and people don't get that. They don't understand the makeup of Iran. They don't understand how multi-ethnic, multilingual, multi-religious the country is. It is not a homogenous or monolithic place at all. But they
Also,
want to
who are you-
present it that way.
And also, who are you doing that for? Like, the only people who would be in any way find that interesting, like, oh, you know what? That's right. They're not, is people who already are like, well, all Arabs are enemies. So it's like you're trying to placate the the people who are just like, I hate all the Arabs. Or, no, not us. We're actually Persia. It's
Can we look at Can we look at Mark Levin's tweet?
Oh my God.
Mark Levin
in that genre, and we have to be clear.
It's a video.
Producer Adam has made very clear that we have to
Yes.
add the disclaimer. It's pronounced Levin. Mark Levin.
Mark Levin. Is it Levin or Levin?
It's
Levin.
Levin.
Because Adam Levin, Mark Levin.
That's
okay?
right.
Just so you know, there is a difference.
This is Persia. The Persian people are Western people. That's what they are. Do you know what? Iran today is a concentration camp.
All right. I mean, just this is the guy you're trying
Not
to
very,
placate.
not very concentrated somehow.
Yeah,
No.
it's weird.
Free range Iranians.
Yeah, free range.
The size of Western Europe. They're just like crammed in. Yeah.
Yeah. But so, I mean, you talk about these kind of influencers. I mean, Mark Levin is being an influencer is a funny idea, but I mean, essentially, what is he doing? Then you have people like Daniel Ryan Spalding.
Speaking of someone who knows how to thread a needle or rather plunge it into his
My favorite
belly fat.
historian on Iran. My favorite Iranian historian, Daniel Ryan Spalding.
Daniel Ryan Spalding.
I haven't seen this yet.
Yeah, he of course took to his platform Instagram to talk about this.
There's a revolution happening in Iran the past 2 weeks. Iran is under occupation by Arab Islamists. Iranians are not Arab. They don't speak Arabic.
There you go.
It's not a Muslim country. They see Islam as an occupation.
These turban wearers will ruin us. We have no security because of them.
The mainstream media doesn't report on it because the mainstream media is controlled by socialists.
By Arabs? Oh, socialists. Okay.
So socialist. And then he goes on about Mamdani after that. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
With an agenda.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
That-
When he said socialists, he showed a picture of Jimmy Kimmel interviewing Rachel Maddow,
Yeah. Oh, is that-
fucking neocon warmongering propagandist Rachel Maddow,
Comrade Maddow will not be insulted.
the one who
on
helped
this
rat
podcast.
fuck Bernie.
Comrade Kimmel, report for duty.
I love it. The enemies of people like Daniel Ryan Spalding, like when he's trying to picture a leftist and he's just like, I don't know, Jon Stewart, Jimmy Kimmel. It's very late night TV brain that I kind of
Okay.
love it.
But hold on.
Please.
Iran is not a Muslim country. Then what is it? Zoroastrian?
Oh, you know, that's the big thing being pushed. This is the other idiocy, is that people don't understand. Zoroastrianism is not something you can convert to. There's only about 200,000 in the world.
Mm.
Okay, they don't let you convert. You have to be born into it. That has to be your ethnic sort of.
It's
You have to be
national
born with the
religion.
mark of Zorro.
Yeah. Yeah,
Astrian.
Very good.
Iran is the birthplace of Zoroastrianism, which was the first monolithic religion. But the majority of Zoroastrians fled Iran and went to Gujarat in India. Okay, in the late 6th century, that happened.
Yeah.
Iran is a Muslim culture. We have some of the biggest mosques, most beautiful shrines.
Let me ask
in
you
the
this, Samira, though.
world.
No, hold on. You said they were there in the 6th century.
Yeah.
They left. If I went to Iran today and I went to an archaeological dig that was set up expressly to
I know what you're doing.
to cause me to find coins marked 6th century, I am Zoroastrian, would I find those coins? Yes or no? Yes. Fuck it. The whole thing is Zoroastrian.
That's right.
Right of return.
You would find the oldest Zoroastrian temple in Yazd, which is a province in Iran. It's where most of the Zoroastrians' temples are. So you would find it there, but you would also find some of the oldest synagogues in the Middle East. You would find
Don't tell me that.
You
would
said
find
I'm
would
gonna
find the
take
tomb of-
it.
No, wait.
Okay,
you would
two-state
find the
solution.
tomb of-
Two-state
you would
solution.
find
Zoroastrian, Jewish, split it down the middle. We'll take 52%.
You
Okay.
would find the tomb of
Archaeology is
Mordecai and
9/10 of the
Esther.
law.
Esther is buried in Iran.
Esther.
Well,
Esther
Good to-
and Mordecai, they're both there.
We learned
It's
from our
mine,
AI
then.
segment recently, Esther prevented genocides by committing them.
that's right. Yeah. I mean,
We gave you Purim. We gave you Purim.
That's right. You're welcome. Seeing Daniel Ryan Spalding like glom onto this, it's I hate to be someone who is, uses the like Daniel Ryan Spalding as a weather vane, I guess, but it is what I end up doing, and I'm trying to clock it, and not everything has to be looked through the lens of my own personal like geopolitical interests, right? Looking at Iran as a chess piece is not something that I think any good internationalist would do, right? It's not something that any good like humanist would do. It's not a fair way of engaging in the subject. But
On the other hand,
that being said,
are the people I am flocking to and taking rhetorical marching orders from aligned with Daniel Ryan Spalding is a somewhat helpful heuristic in some ways.
it's a shortcut that I think people often put into this category of Tankie, right? This category of Tankie that
I
exists.
don't even know what that word means.
Neither do I. It's a conversation ender.
I thought it meant you were a part of a think tank. That's what, the first time I
should
heard
be.
that, I thought that's what it was. Oh, you're a tankie, like you're a fellow somewhere.
That's
you
a
know?
much better
Yeah,
definition.
a group think tank.
So what is it? What is a tankie?
A tankie is it's
go
a
ahead.
catch-all term for anyone who is. It's an insult from leftists to other leftists. It's a way of sort of pushing. I mean, it's a way of negative branding for a lot of people. I think it's when someone is
Is it a
in
new
the
word?
tank,
Is
in
it a
the
new
tank
word?
for repressive
Yeah.
would-be socialist communist government. So
right.
a hardcore communist who doubles down on Stalinism or Maoism or
Right.
overlooks the excesses of this dictator or that,
Oh,
or
I see.
Assad, for instance. My
In
brother
the
gets
tank.
called it. My brother and Blumenthal at the Gray Zone get called tankies all the time. It's
Oh, so you
anyone who's.
overlook the crimes of this government
That's right.
Right.
You
because they are
glaze
of
the
a
wrong
certain
people.
ideology.
You
Yes.
glaze the wrong people in the name of your anti-Western imperialist ideology. That's
I
the
see.
implicit accusation.
And
Right.
who levels it at who?
It's leftists against leftists, essentially. And a lot of the times it's, radical liberals against leftists. A lot of times it is, Marxist-Leninists against other Marxist-Leninists.
Trotskyists.
Trotskyists. It is just a kind of a way of branding someone's anti-imperialism as like dumb, not nuanced, whatever. And fair enough. I think that does happen. I see it a lot where people reflexively, due to their, anti-imperial stance, will reflexively support regimes that they don't have to,
or assume and aver without evidence that any accusation of those regimes are doing something untoward is a conspiracy, is a fabrication, whatever.
Yeah.
So
And that
do
has
too
like,
much. Do too much in the pushback against.
right.
I mean, I've seen
yeah.
that. It happens. I see it on the comments under my posts. If I post about
Right.
if I post about the Iranian government killing hundreds of people, killing thousands of people, people will come under it and say, well, a woman was shot in the States. And I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with what I just wrote?
I would say the impact of tankieism in general is mostly just in comment sections. It exists for yelling at journalists who are doing journalism. It's like you are someone who I think it was Dropsite interviewed someone. It was like someone who was at the protests who said they saw
Ryan Grimm,
right. And there was a bunch of people saying like, you are doing the bidding
regime
of
change.
Regime change. You're doing the bidding of Mossad. I don't think that's necessarily fair to do to a journalist when they're doing journalism. However, that being said, people who kind of levy this criticism of tankieism, I think often they don't understand why the simplicity of anti-imperialism is actually, I think, a more effective strategy than the nuanced take that I think a lot of us have, because we all, I think, are doing a little bit of pretending when we are online and have political opinions on platforms. Like, I think we all think we stand apart from the imperial sphere because we're critical of it, right? And, we do a podcast that's anti-imperial, or we read Marx, or we read the tweets of someone who has read Marx.
I don't know about that, Matt. You might be in the podcast business. You might be in the podcast business. I'm in the empire business.
Right. Well, so I'm just saying, I think that it's like sort of an illusion a little bit. And like our self-perception is different than the reality of what our impact is. Like, we're doing an anti-empire agitprop, like in the Death Star.
Inside the imperial core. And
right.
the other reason to I think lean anti-imperialist and look askance at sort of the quickness to dismiss people as tankies is just the Chomskyan principle. Wherever you're living, whatever the power structure is there, that's what you're responsible for criticizing the most. That's what you can ostensibly do something about, say something about, especially since the people who will glom onto criticizing and demonizing and rabble rousing against repressive regimes halfway across the world are our enemies.
Right.
Here, there are domestic enemies. There are
Yes.
foreign policy, and those are our actual enemies. Iran is not our enemy. Lindsey Graham
Right.
is our enemy.
Yeah, and it's just to finish my thought, like,
No, I'm sorry.
we can take off the like the mask, right? Like the helmet, but we're still stormtroopers. You know what I mean? And I think that we like, if every Imperial officer is like, we're gonna blow up Alderaan. If your take is, well, I don't agree with that, but I do think that the government of Alderaan really needs to go down. Like, it's hard for that nuanced take to be anything more than another voice in like the Imperial consensus. So
Yeah.
I
Hands off
understand-
Alderaan is a more cogent message.
Right. Yeah. And it may be, you know, you can criticize someone for being dumb, being too, you know, too pro Iran or whatnot. But to me, that's like it's like a lesser crime than being someone who is going to allow themselves to be used as a mouthpiece for thank you, ADL.
Thank
Ron.
you. I had the same
It's-
thought,
the
Adam. I'm
thing
glad
is,
you got
it
there.
shouldn't be radical to be able to hold two thoughts at the same time.
Of
It
course,
shouldn't
of
be
course.
radical to be able to say the Iranian government is a brutal government. It oppresses dissidents. It kills and has one of the highest rates of execution in the world. However, let the fucking Iranian people decide for themselves what they want to do with that government.
Yeah.
You know, when you can't have people like Tamir Morag, the diplomatic correspondent of Channel 14, saying, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, we're arming protesters. Well, we're on the ground. I mean,
Right.
what are you doing? You're providing fodder to an already paranoid government.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
that-
And you're providing consent also in the United States to a government that is, I mean, not that they anymore ask for our consent or need the consent, but like, look at Venezuela. Like, Venezuela is a perfect example of the culmination of years and years and years of like fear mongering, war mongering. Every type of mongering was happening. And then sanctions, and then on the right they're talking about, oh, it's communism, socialism, all that shit. And on the left, or liberals mostly, were ostensibly consenting via like nuanced statements about like, oh, Maduro's crooked or sold out the revolution, or he is stolen election, yada yada yada. Now we have enough consensus for Trump to be like, I'm gonna go there and steal the oil. I'm not saying that having an opinion about it is something you should self-censor or whatnot, but what I'm saying is that you do have a responsibility as a stormtrooper. If you're in the United States, you're listening to this podcast, you like to tweet a lot, you have some political opinions, you have to understand where your impact is. And to me, I look at people who are trying to thread this needle. I go like, well, this is why I think Tankieism for some people is almost more principled. Like, it can be wrong, but it can be wrong for the right reasons. And the simplicity of it, I think, is less of a crime than allowing yourself to be someone who, when Maduro is ousted, going like, well, he was no angel. Like, do we need to start with that? We don't need to start with that. That's, to me, that is...
Well, that's what the Democrats did. We don't like
Yes.
how he got taken out. That he got taken
Yeah.
out, you know,
happy
sometimes
with the
blessings
result.
come.
Yeah.
Sometimes blessings come wrapped in illegal, belligerent, catastrophic packaging.
Yeah, and you know, that it's not to say that there aren't sectarians, you know, out there who are just always after attacking anybody who's, you know, a journalist or whatnot. You being attacked, Samira, for, you know, pointing out facts. That exists, but it also is, the impact of that is nothing compared to the impact of people who are just sort of consenting. They may say they're against regime change, and they are. I'm sure they are.
And
But-
a lot of people want it.
But a lot of people want
Overtly.
it. And the government overtly wants it. Our government wants to blow up Alderaan. You just don't want to be a stormtrooper who's like, well, I can see why. To me, that's I guess how I feel about it. But I'm
you showed
stupid.
that clip of Toronto. There was 100,000 people.
Yeah.
The police said 110,000 people were there.
Wow, in the
And
blowing snow. I mean, I got to
in
give
the
them
blowing
that.
snow.
That is not a fun climate to be marching in. There's conviction there. I got to say.
You know, there's no doubt that the overwhelming majority of people in the diaspora
Right.
want this government gone, and they've reached a point. I brought up the 2009 elections. Even in Iran, people have reached a point where they are so frustrated they are inviting bombs onto their heads. That's fucked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you only do that when you get to a point where you're like, okay, I've tried the ballot box, I've tried the civil disobedience, I've tried whatever, nothing is working. Okay, bring on the fucking F-16s. Like, but people right now are losing their minds, and we're in this spiral of fascism, nationalism, racism. Like this movement right now that you're seeing in the diaspora, also inside the country, it's very dangerous.
Right.
It's extremely dangerous.
I have an idea. Now, Big Pharma, meet me at camera 3. Get on this, okay? We need diasporas are causing some problems in the world, all right? And it's tough to be a diaspora. You're away from your homeland too long. You're strangers in a strange land. You go a little crazy. You get ideas. You dream of returning and all this. It happens to the best of us, all right? Look what happened to us, right? I don't want it to happen to anyone else. So we need Big Pharma. We need Big Pharma to come up with a little pill that'll help cool the temperature of these diasporas. We can call it diasporin.
Diasporin, very
I like
good.
It. Thin out that hot blood with diasporin.
That's good. I like breaking
Do
the
you
word
have
up, like diaspora.
Yes.
Yeah.
Samira, just before we take a break, I want to ask, for people who do want to support, at the very least, even if it's a small cadre, but the liberal or leftists of Iran who are fighting against their oppression, they are fighting against an oppressive government. How does one show that solidarity when in doing so you end up adding to the chorus of voices who want regime change? Like, is there a way to thread that needle?
It's difficult because of the setup, and you know there are voices out there. There's a woman specifically, an amazing writer. Her name is Sahar Dalijani. She was asked by the New York Times recently to write an op-ed on the protests in Iran, and she very publicly turned down the invitation from the New York Times and said, "I don't want to do anything with you. Your coverage of the genocide in Gaza was horrific." And so there are voices out there, but they're not the loudest and they're not violent and aggressive. See, this is what is happening right now, is that there is this huge silent majority of people, and people are afraid to speak out because, you know, my home was doxxed. My family's been threatened. I mean, these are real things that are happening to people who aren't myopic right now, who have a 360-degree view of the world, and who understand that foreign intervention will just continue this fucking cycle that Iran has been in for more than a century. You know, of foreign intervention. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Oh, we found oil. Great. You know, now they're talking about splitting up the country. I mean, I'm not sure if you saw that op-ed in the Wall Street Journal that said, hey, you know what? This is the title. The headline was "A Fractured Iran, Not So Bad."
They sure do love fracturing countries.
Dr. Bezos has examined your fracture, and it's fine. Let's fracture it a little bit more. Let's just keep that thing broken.
How great would it be for Israel and America to come in and say, "We liberated you. Now give us that southern region where all that sweet, sweet black gold is."
Yeah. It's, you know.
And just because you point that out doesn't mean you're a stooge of the fucking Iranian government, which is what people accuse you of.
Right, exactly. And I think it's, you know, it's true on the other side as well, just pointing out the various repressive methods, and the shooting of protesters does not mean that you are pro-imperialism. That being
Okay.
said, the effect of one versus the effect of the other is the reality we have to live in.
That's a very good
The
point.
the reality of
yeah.
being called, a stooge for Iran on a personal level is going to suck, obviously, for, especially going against people with power. The effect on the other side is, I think, it is more dangerous. It just is. Look at Venezuela.
For those who are looking for a way to thread that needle, and have an intelligent, balanced, reality-based view of it, we'll share in the show notes this N+1 article, which
That's
is
fantastic.
by Iman Ganji and Bahar Nourizadeh.
Mhm.
Really, really excellent stuff. Samira, I just saw in my DMs you sent me a Rabbi Shmuley video.
Oh
and
my
you said,
God, I found
OMG,
something else.
OMG, he's Iranian.
Yeah.
He
What?
is?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
This guy's
Yeah.
been doing Ashkenazi cosplay.
R-
Should we
listen
play
to
this?
him.
This I haven't even
Let's
watched
play
it
it.
yet. Matt, can I send this to you?
Yeah, send it to me right now.
As an Iranian American,
First of all, he's Iranian?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. This is horrific.
I'm
Horrific.
this is horrible news.
Has he been
for
doing
you.
whiteface this entire time?
Honestly,
Ashki face?
Oh, God.
This is such I feel I'm really sorry to our Iranian listeners who just found this out. This is such a bummer. I'm so
Look
sorry.
at the comments underneath it are even worse.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for supporting us.
That's what a real tankie is. Someone who says thank you to Rabbi Shmuley.
Thank you.
Thank you.
the United States in the 1960s, left Iran in the 1950s. I want to tell you the pain that I feel for my Iranian brothers and sisters as they are murdered, slaughtered. That video that I posted yesterday, and by the way, it's almost impossible to get videos out because they've turned off the whole internet and people are using Starlink. God bless Elon Musk, who so often comes to the rescue of people who are fighting for freedom. That video that I posted where you just see the IRGC, the Revolutionary Guard, freaking Nazis of Iran, just indiscriminately firing snipers just into crowds. I mean, they're just blowing people away.
Can you imagine a country doing that to its
Oh,
people?
no.
Can I just
and turning off internet access to boot?
How can you?
And
Who else does that?
outlawing journalism?
It's fucking. Sometimes I'm like, how stupid do you think we are?
Irony is dead.
It's dead. He's sitting here saying literally every single thing the Israeli government did to the Palestinians and is still doing, and he's just like, I can't believe this. I can't believe it.
Such an abomination.
Such an abomination.
And the only person who gives one crap is President Trump, who said he's locked and loaded. And all these people who hate his guts, who called him Hitler, you disgusting rabble at Columbia, you disgusting rabble at Harvard, you've called the man Hitler. There's crickets in Harvard Yard. There's crickets at Columbia University. You don't give one crap.
There's the
that Iranian-
messaging.
There it
There's
is.
the messaging. There's the messaging. Where are the
Yes.
encampments? I mean, it is so pathetic.
Yes.
Every single person is now saying the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And under all of these comments is us going, thank you, Sam, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, look.
I'm
If
sorry, I can't.
Rabbi Stooley.
No. Very good.
That's my new name for it.
I'm just saying, I have a physical aversion to being on the same side of any issue with Rabbi Shmuley and Daniel Ryan's.
That ends it. That's it.
It really does. I mean, it is.
Hello,
Come
tankies of America. I'd like to pay my dues.
That's right. We got to take a quick commercial break, but everyone, please stick around because we will be right back. And we're back. This is Badass Bar, the world's most moral podcast, here with Samira Mohyeddin. How you doing, Samira?
Ooh, I'm the worst I've ever been. Nice to see you.
Doing great. To continue talking about Iran, we got to talk about Lindsey Graham.
This episode's turning out to be Bad Shah's Bara.
Yeah. Ooh, there we go. Look at this. I always rely on you for a title, and it works.
They're in the valley now. by the way. They're not in Beverly Hills anymore.
Oh,
The Shaws of Sunset just started.
wait. Hold on. You're saying the Crown Prince is in the Valley?
No, the show,
okay,
Shaws
okay.
of Sunset. It's now set in the Valley,
Okay,
no
okay,
longer
okay.
in Beverly Hills.
Okay, that's good. Because for a moment I was just like, that would be crazy if I had like ran into him in West LA, and I was just like, oh, that's the Crown Prince. So Lindsey Graham. Last Sunday, January 11th, Graham touted a new day coming for the Iranian people. The following day, he touted the, quote, biggest change in the Middle East in 1,000 years and the slogan, make Iran great again, or as I call it, the M word. He went on Hannity, and this is just a crazy wrestling promo that he cut for the war on Iran. You guys got to watch this Lindsey Graham clip. Here it is.
Why are these people in the streets this long? They believe Trump has their back. President Trump said, if they come after you, they got to go through me. If you thought Afghanistan was a debacle, it was. The only thing worse would be to entice people out into the streets against a brutal dictator and pull the plug on them. To anybody at the White House who thinks that Ayatollah would honor...
Hold on. Did he just use the verb entice?
Yeah.
Is he admitting that we lured them out?
I love it.
Like rodents?
100%. No, I mean, literally, this is
awful.
he's talking about like blue balls, but for blood.
The worst thing we could do would be to lift our little schoolgirl skirts and show them some young thigh,
some leg,
some leg, and then
not put out,
and then
like, I mean, let's be honest,
not get in their van.
I don't think he's into girls in skirts or any.
I didn't say there was a girl in the schoolgirl skirt.
That's true. That's a good point. But yeah, no, this is him complaining about like, well, guys, you can't give us blue balls. You're leaving us like throbbing for war.
Sorry, did you see A Up Lovely's tweet?
No.
When Lindsey Graham put out a tweet explaining why he was going to Israel, and like this big justification for why I need to be in the Jewish state at this moment.
Yeah.
A Up Lovely, the British shit poster par excellence, tweeted, "Thank you, Senator. I was confused as to why a politician widely rumored to be a gay pedophile would be flying to Israel."
Wow. Wow.
I mean, the interesting thing about that is he also like took a picture with like Mossad.
Oh yeah, the head of Mossad just met with my good friend David Barnea, director of Mossad.
Oh,
wow, these people are clever.
my God.
He's a clever boy. He's a clever boy.
What?
He showed me some things I'd never even imagined.
I tell you, those Jews, they're clever. They be watching you while you be doing sex crimes.
You do that really well, Matt.
Well,
That's
I'm
a
just
great
honestly, I'm impressed with it. He showed me sucking and fucking. He showed me pictures.
Licking and picking.
Licking and picking. Stroking and poking.
Did you know there's a kosher and unkosher way to eat ass?
Just like
you need to have a rabbi present to bless it.
He met with the guy who has the compromat on him, and he just was like, wow, this guy's clever. He's a clever guy. He's very clever. Also, I just love just being like, these Jews. They're so clever.
Have you ever seen the head of Mossad named or photographed before? Isn't that kind of like doxing? Talk about overt ops. I mean, like,
you get me, I get you. I get you back, motherfucker.
He's calling up the head of Mossad. Honey, when are we going to go public? Why do we got to keep it in the closet?
Yeah. All right, here's more of him being mad.
Ambition, you're a fool. Donald Trump is not a fool. These people are out in the streets because they believe in Trump. He's the first president since 1979 to pick the people over the Ayatollah. And the leader of the Democratic Party, you're sick, pal. Where are the Democrats? You cheer on Hamas, who wants to kill the Jews. Now you got people in Iran, like the Crown Prince, who want to be our friend. But because it may happen on Trump's watch, you're belittling the movement. These people are dying by the thousands.
He loves the
Lindsey
movement.
Graham and the movement.
When he says the movement, he's talking about this big
His
map.
bowels.
he's talking about his bowel movements, or he's talking about the movements of troops across a map. The movement.
This is so awful. You know, to be an Iranian in this moment is just horrific. To have people like Lindsey Graham touting anything you're doing. I mean, people are dying in the streets, and this guy is sitting here saying everybody's out for Trump. That's fucking bullshit. That's fucking bullshit.
And let me tell you, McMahon, you are not ready for the movement of the Graham maniacs out on the streets of Tehran. The president is on my side.
What we need right now is Iron Sheik. Rest in peace, Camel Clutch.
I know. And it's funny. So last Friday, on the 16th, Trump told reporters that he had canceled
800 executions.
Yeah. Iran had canceled the hanging of 800 people, and therefore he's not going to, launch a military attack. But he still might in the future. And they caught an interview with Lindsey Graham right after, and you've never seen a more sad boy. I just he is so bummed. This is it.
The headlines out there that are, in my view, not accurate. President Trump's resolve is not the question. The question is,
he's just a bit of a fool.
When we do an operation like this, should it be bigger or smaller? I'm in the camp of bigger.
Senator, please don't read your Grindr profile out loud.
Yeah. I'm
in the camp of bigger.
Bigger camp. Bigly.
I love a big camp.
In the camp of girthier.
I just want a really girthy, just uncut war with Iran, Look,
if you're going to do a demonstration, then demonstrate something, honey.
I mean, it's just watching him be sad out loud, just be, he's so bummed about it. And, we laugh about this now, but he is, he's working tirelessly for
an increased fire.
Yes. So many people are. So, I've been doing this research right now on Christian Zionists who believe that the striking of Iran will bring the rapture. They believe that the Messiah will come back. We laugh, but there are actual people, huge pastors who are pushing for this because they think that this is the end. This is it. They're fighting the evil Islam, and this will bring the Messiah.
And what won't bring the rapture at this point? Everything is rapture bait.
Yeah.
Like anything regimes want to do, they just try to sell it to the Christians as you want to hasten the coming of the Messiah.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see.
You want it?
It's just like selling them a watch. I don't want this bootleg rapture. Give me the real shit. No, it'll be interesting.
I got the three horsemen right here. I'll get you the fourth.
I think the
day
real
after
test
tomorrow.
The real test for a lot of what's going on the right in terms of anti-Israel sentiment. The real test is Iran. I think you saw a lot of right-wing anti-Israel, anti-Zionists, and I put those in quotes for a lot of them, who are out there saying I don't want to die in a war for no Jew and stuff like that, which is listen, however you get to the no Iran war with Iran place, I'm okay, fine, whatever. But now, you really are seeing this increased imperial presence, not just in countries across the globe, but also in the United States with, ICE being occupying Minneapolis right now. And, so seeing Lindsey Graham and sort of the Christian evangelical Zionist movement trying to push for this, the question, still remains, like, how much of that anti-Israel sentiment on the right actually translates to anything other than tweets, and I don't know the answer to that. It's just, it's an interesting moment for the right, where who knows which way they're going to go. I do see a lot of right wingers, tweeting, talking shit about Lindsey Graham though. And, occasionally the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Hey man, if you got to break out that homophobia for something.
Yeah. And to be clear, ours was not homophobia.
No,
it was him being a pedophile. Just to be
right.
absolutely clear.
Very different things.
Very different things. Very different things. This is nothing to do with anything other than
not.
Allegedly.
I was mincing vegetables the other night.
Yeah, exactly. I would never mince words. So before we get out of here, we have one more thing to talk about. We got to talk about Jesse Brown one more time. I'm sorry, but you're Canadian, Samira.
You're a clown, Jesse Brown.
Yeah, yeah. We got to talk about Jesse Brown's
Jesse is a friend.
I wish I had Jesse's girl.
No.
I wish I had Jesse's balls, man. Like this guy.
Yeah. He just
that
put
song,
out
by the way. That song, by the way, has such one of the great lyrical lines in pop music.
Which one?
Makes me something when they start acting cute. I want to tell her that I love her, but the point is probably
moot. Yeah.
Moot.
Yeah.
That's
who uses that? It was so unbelievable. You're like, Rick Springfield said moot.
Is that a Rick Springfield song? Is that who
it
does
is? Rick
it?
Springfield, who is Australian.
I only know it. I just know the song. I don't know anything else about it. It's like that and that. It's like
he used to be on General Hospital too.
Oh yeah, look at that.
And he's watching her with those eyes.
And he's loving her
with that body. I just know it. I mean, just bites into that. It's a musical theater song almost. Like it's so. It's such a great character moment. Anyway,
he hits that. I just know it with such an incel tone that I'm.
Yeah, that song. Is She Really Going Out with Him by Joe Jackson? There's a lot of good incel numbers from around that era.
I like Sister Christian. That song. I don't know if
love that.
But I feel like it's in the same vein.
Sister Christian, all your time has come.
What's the motorcade? What's the
motoring?
Oh, motoring.
What's your price for flight?
I don't see. Price for flight.
At that point, I
buying a plane ticket.
Okay. I think it's about not. It's about not losing your virginity or something. Anyways, Jesse Brown is just wrote a piece for Newsweek.
He's moving on up in the world.
Yes, and we want to read some of it right now to all of you. Daniel, please do the honors.
The next massacre of Jews is likely to occur in Canada.
Oh, he wants
opinion.
Jesus Christ. What a start. I got to say, he knows how to write a headline. It's catchy. Makes me want to see if he wrote
it. But I mean, you know that expression, like worrying is like praying for what you don't want.
Yes. Interesting. I don't.
Writing a Newsweek article is like writing a Newsweek op-ed predicting that a massacre is going to coming is like getting down on your hands and knees and begging for the thing you say you don't want.
And they're going to be
am I crazy or does this guy want a massacre?
I just know it.
Listen, Jesse has been tweeting this exact headline for a year.
I want to tell my listeners I'm a journalist, but the point is probably moot.
He just has been talking about this massacre that's coming. It's like the rapture.
It is.
It's just coming. It's coming. He's been waiting for it. He's been pointing to all of this stuff. And I have to say this, that there have been so many. I'm not sure if you know about it. There have been fire bombings at schools. There were shootings at 4 a.m. at a girls' Jewish day school here. However, the two people who have been caught for burning a synagogue and for breaking the windows of another synagogue, both Jewish.
Oh no!
Okay, but where's the lie in his headline?
Yeah, exactly. Just the headline.
Jews are being emboldened.
Who's gonna do it? But yeah, no, I mean, it is something that has been his beat, and he's gotten so much criticism for it. And the fact that he has continued on, it's almost like he's doing it. It's like the negative reinforcement has only convinced him that he is more right about it. And also just like is likely to occur. You know what? Let's read it. Let's just read it.
Okay. A disturbing pattern is emerging when it comes to violent acts of Jew hatred around the world.
Oh, that word.
Yeah.
Jew hatred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's new.
Yeah.
A few days after the Hanukkah massacre at Bondi Beach and a few months after the Yom Kippur synagogue attack in Manchester, Canadian police announced that 3 armed men had been, quote, targeting women and members of the Jewish community on the streets of Toronto. One of the men was charging with conspiring with ISIS to commit murder, as the Bondi Beach killers had done.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know about this case, Samira?
So that's absolute bullshit.
Oh, wow, really?
That case, the way he's framing it,
Stop talking over Jews. Stop talking over Jews, Samira.
These 3 armed men were, it's true that they were kidnapping women because they were part of a trafficking ring. Has nothing to do with the targeting of the Jewish community at all.
Wow.
At all. It just so happens that some of those women were Jewish. You know, sometimes right now, I'm like, if I get into a car accident and the person is Jewish, I always wonder, oh my God, like, am I going to be called anti-Semitic for that?
So I hate to interrupt this with something else, but did you guys hear about this case in Australia?
Oh, yeah, this is too good. This is too good.
In Australia, a woman was arrested for doing an anti-Semitic threat.
Oh, the fart.
Yeah,
the butt dial. It
was a butt dial. I gotta play it because I was so like blown away.
Tanuri charged with harassing Mandy Sacker, a nutritionist of Jewish faith she'd never met but seen on TV and social media. The alleged offending contained in a voicemail 1 week after the Bondi massacre.
All of the circumstances of this case point in one direction. It is an accidental call.
Serena's lawyer noting his client, who works at Bunnings, has a severe intellectual and cognitive disability supported by the NDIS.
She's not anti-Semitic. She doesn't even understand the conflict.
I'm sorry, but this lawyer...
He almost said she's not smart enough to be anti-Semitic.
He's kind of saying
she
that.
Does not meet the Australian government's IQ quotient for hating Jews. Takes a certain amount of worldliness to despise the Jewish faith.
Oh God, it's so you already have a case without this. Here's the case.
It's alleged Serena sent a text to Mandy, writing, "Hey, how are you? Is this Mandy? I saw somewhere that you helped Katie from Married at First Sight with her nutrition. I was wondering if you could help me as well, Serena." Around 5 hours later, a call from Serena's number went to Mandy's voicemail. No voices were heard on the recording, but Mandy claims she heard sounds she believed were gunshots, causing her immediate fear and nervousness.
It could be a bed creaking. It could be someone snoring.
The 26-year-old who...
I fucking love Australians. It could be anything.
Yeah. My dad used to fart and say, "Oh, it was the bed."
Oh, sure. Oh, someone farts. Sure. No, that wasn't me. That was an anti-Semitic threat.
It could be a koala snapping a kangaroo's pouch as a prank.
Yeah. Just incredible to be charged for anti-Semitism for a butt dial, but that is sort of the
this is where we are.
That's where we are. It's a world that Jesse Brown is currently helping foster. But let's continue. Oh, next page. There we go.
This incident was not an outlier. Since October 7th, 2020. So I'm just trying to square. This incident was not an outlier with what Samira explained to us, which is that also this incident was not an incident. Since October 7th, 2023, there have been 7 extremist murder plots against Jews by Canadian residents. The common thread between Britain, Australia, and Canada is England. No, is that in all 3 nations, virulent anti-Zionist rhetoric that demonizes anyone connected to Israel has not only become normal, but it has become popular. Popular.
She's so popular.
Games Without Frontiers. Nice pull. Meanwhile, concern for Jews has become decidedly unfashionable, even for the police.
Oh my God.
Welcome to the What's Hot, What's Not Toronto PD calendar. What's not? Caring about Jews.
Right.
The most disturbing aspect of the sexual assaults in Toronto. Hold on.
What?
Wait, what?
How did we get there?
How did we get there?
What did I miss?
I thought they were arrested for conspiring or planning.
Okay.
There were no sexual assaults.
The most disturbing aspect of the sexual assaults in Toronto is that authorities made their first arrests in the case 4 months
before alerting the public.
Wait a second. So they're talking about the
three armed men.
Okay, so that
the attempts to kidnap. Where did the sexual assault?
I don't know. He just I like that. It's a fun part of the playbook. Is just adding sexual assault whenever you want. Yeah. How many likes do they have?
4 months before alerting the public, the Jewish community had no idea that armed, hate-motivated extremists were roaming the suburbs of Toronto in a luxury SUV, allegedly sexually assaulting women and attempting to kidnap and murder them.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. And the police did that because they hate Jews. That's
right.
Yes.
This is but one example of how authorities have failed the Jewish community in Canada and left us vulnerable to hatred and harm. Toronto police have apologized to the Jewish community twice. Once for delivering refreshments to anti-Zionist protesters occupying an overpass.
I can't believe he brought this up. Oh my God, this is such bullshit. Okay, I have to give you context about this. Okay, so there's a bridge where people were protesting Israel's genocide. The police were not allowing anyone to cross a certain area. And so one of these protesters had gone to get some Tim Hortons in one of those big containers, and he wasn't able to give it to the protesters. And so the cop took it and gave it to them.
Huh.
So what's the fucking problem?
Well, I mean, I see clearly what the problem is. That's essentially giving a donation to Hamas.
Of course. Coffee for Hamas.
Obviously. It's just like, don't wake me. Don't bother me until I've had my Intifada mug. You know, that's the.
Do you know how many Israeli soldiers have sustained life-threatening injuries from little Palestinian children throwing Timbits at them?
That's right.
It's violence.
Man.
Occupying an overpass in what the protesters called a Zionist-infested area. He loves throwing in like little nasty sounding quotes from protesters to make it sound like
every protester there is a Nazi doing like Nazi tropes about like Jewish infestations or whatnot. It's his way of tying this into some sort of dark Nazi-like future that we're going to be living in.
That's true, and
it's a smear.
And speaking about people as if they are rodents and bugs and roaches and infestations is very much.
What does that sound like?
Very much something Jesse would never support or run cover for.
Oh yeah, no, never.
Not that he knows much about not that he doesn't know much about the conflict. He's not taking a side. All he knows is he's trying to prevent the next massacre. Stop.
Yeah.
And again, for releasing a podcast, this is what the Toronto police have done, releasing a podcast in which two Muslim police officers spoke approvingly of how October 7th inspired many reverts to Islam. Approvingly?
Again, that's bullshit.
I am interested to know about both of these stories because the context so far is he's just using this as evidence of, well, the police obviously have something to be sorry for. They have done 2 acts of anti-Semitism in which they had to apologize for. But both of these things are the most ridiculous things I have heard for them to apologize for.
Also, excuse me, how often do large metropolitan police departments apologize to entire communities?
I mean,
when's
I don't
the
know
last
how it
time
works
you
in
heard
Canada.
Never. You don't. That's not a thing.
And it's funny.
Most communities don't expect it.
Yeah, in Newsweek, as an American and with the American readership, I think they just expect us to go like, well, it does sound like, I mean, it is Canada. They do apologize a lot. Maybe the police are saying sorry.
Sorry.
They're saying sorry about stuff.
Only twice in 3 years? That's very un-Canadian.
That's very low for us.
It's anti-Semitic not to apologize to Jews once a week.
At least
in
once
Canada.
a week. Yes.
In Canada. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney's sole policy initiative so far has been to propose new anti-hate legislation, despite the fact that current hate speech laws remain largely unenforced, even when violations happen in plain sight. Canada had a, quote, federal envoy for combating anti-Semitism, but she resigned last summer, citing daily frustration and literal, quote, despair. Her role has yet to be filled.
She resigned because she didn't fucking do anything. All she did in Canada was shill for Israel. She was embarrassing. She has a picture of her hosting Canadian IDF soldiers at a pizza party. I mean, this woman did nothing.
Yeah.
She did nothing. That's why she resigned.
Well, and she felt despair because sometimes doing nothing,
of course,
makes you feel despair.
Statistics confirm the extent of the crisis. I'm sure they do, as read by you. Statistics confirm what I believe.
Yes.
Reliably, as they always do. Though Jews comprise less than 1% of Canada's population, we are the 1%. I'm not sure if you are. We are now the number one target of police-reported hate crimes targeting religion. So we call the cops more than anyone?
What does that mean?
What do you...
I mean,
so sorry, I have to interject here again. This number that is being used, I'm surprised he doesn't include the number. I haven't read this bilge yet, but if he does include the number, that number is a number that B'nai B'rith has put out into the world, B'nai B'rith Canada. It has no bearing
They are
in
the
anything.
official police of the Jewish community, so it
Yes,
is police reported.
And they've included such things as Free Palestine. If you see Free Palestine written anywhere, you could call into their number and say, I just saw anti-Semitism, and that they will include that as part of the numbers. So this is all.
And this is something we've seen, in the United States as well, with the ADL's metric for quantifying anti-Semitism, which was used very specifically for reporting students and faculty as anti-Semites, and it was the vast majority was anti-Israel speech or, slogans like Free Palestine and, not anti-Semitism the way that it is commonly.
And his sentence here is, he says specifically, hate crimes targeting religion. These weaselly little would-be synonyms that he slips in. It's so sloppy. A comparison of Statistics Canada data against FBI, unless Zionism is your religion, I guess, which in his case it is. A comparison of Statistics Canada data, I mean, he's not an observant Zionist, but, deep down. Against FBI data shows that a Jew in Canada is significantly more likely to be the target of a police-reported hate crime than a Jew in America.
Yes.
Now, speaking of statistics, a good friend of mine is an academic at a major Canadian university, and he gave a listen to Jesse's what's it called? Podcast series. What is happening here?
Did you forget the word podcast?
Yeah, it did.
We're a podcast.
Yeah. What are we doing here? What are we doing? And he pointed out to me, and he read this Newsweek piece. He said Jesse's doubling down on the most specious part of his podcast series, which is his reliance on these stats, his interpretation of the stat that talks about, the extreme rise of anti-Jewish sentiment in Canada. Even when he interviews the statistician, I forget the guy's name, the guy says, 94% of Canadians have zero animus towards Jews expressed. Like, the actual numbers show the opposite of what Jesse's saying. And then Jesse's like, yeah, but these incidents or something like that.
What about
like
that?
Yeah.
And it's, to me, this game of quantifying it, it's why, the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism is being pushed so hard to, to be adopted by, not just like universities, but like by police, by federal and local governments. It's because then you
We adopted
really,
it. We adopted it here in Canada.
yeah, and you can tell based on
adopted. We adopted it like, hey, Ira.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
baby.
so cute.
Baby Ira. Meet my baby Ira.
I'm not your real father, Ira. Your real father is Israel. But like, it's it's for this very reason. It's so that you can quantify hate speech and also criminalize speech in general. But in this case, it's so Jesse Brown can use it to write an article about how.
Yeah.
And I love how now he's like trying to take it to American audiences. Like he's done everything he can in Canada with his little podcast series.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's trying to get, Zionists abroad to take an interest in the plight of Jews. Maybe Iran style. You can get Lindsey Graham to support some kind of uprising of Canadian Jews for their freedom in Canada.
Right.
I want to point out that he wrote Neighbors with no U. I mean, that is just unbelievable.
Well, that's Newsweek. That's his editor.
I mean, I don't know.
It's true. There is no such thing as a Jewish neighborhood OR in Canada. Literally, there are neighbors.
Interesting. I like that. That's a little bit of like there's a little colonialism there.
The weak responses from Canadian leaders to anti-Semitism stand in stark contrast to their forceful condemnations of Canada. Carney has even promised to arrest Benjamin Netanyahu should he ever set foot on Canadian soil. The protesters are emboldened by these high-level validations and have shifted their targets.
Yeah.
Samira holds up a little bumper sticker of Netanyahu saying terrorist. Exactly.
Yeah.
These protesters are emboldened by these high-level validations and have shifted their targets from elected officials to their Jewish neighbors.
At this point, if you are Samira's now hanging herself with her headphone cord. At this point, if you are going to look at, Mark Carney promising to arrest Benjamin Netanyahu, if you're looking at that as like, this is only emboldening, the anti-Semites and whatnot, then I do not believe anything you have ever said about being pro-Palestine or about being, somehow non-involved or whatnot or objective. Like, I'm sorry, but that it may not be the norm in America, but that should be the norm in any Western country. And there is no argument. There is no argument for being against arresting Benjamin Netanyahu as a war criminal. He has the warrants out for him. Like, you can still keep your liberal Zionist cred and believe this. You know what I mean?
I want to point something out here about this Jewish neighbors and go marching into Jewish neighborhoods. So every Sunday, because I live in this city, every Sunday at the corner of Bathurst and Shepherd, which is where the predominantly Jewish community, Zionists will come out and they wave Israeli flags and they play, music and they chant for Netanyahu and stuff. Mm-hmm. People who are anti-Zionists now have come out and they will stand across the street with their Palestinian flags. It's like this, tit for tat. Okay. So this is what he's referring to when he says now they're marching in Jewish neighborhoods. Last week, Jesse Brown put out a tweet of a video of the people marching in these Jewish neighborhoods. And you heard the doctor, a man in the video say, "Hey, I'm the head of cardiac surgery at Sunnybrook Hospital," which is a hospital here in Toronto. Jewish doctor says to one of the protesters, "Why don't you try coming there and see what sort of service you get?"
Wow.
And, I wrote under it. I wrote under to Jesse. I guess you didn't hear that part where he threatened to not live up to his Hippocratic oath as a doctor. I mean, what the fuck? The way this is being framed is such bullshit.
Yeah.
But people in Newsweek have no idea.
And the phrase marched and the phrase marching into is just becoming one of these mindless tropes. AOC used it with regard to the anti-land sale protest outside a yeshiva.
That's right.
oh, hey, so it's not cool to
Yeah.
march into a... They didn't march in. They probably took the subway in, stood there, and
they're
were
planted.
counter-protesting. And
Yes.
Yeah.
It's using March in order to give you
Yeah.
the image
Give
of
you not
goose stepping.
It's giving
Yeah.
Skokie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
giving
giving
Skokie.
Crystal Nacht. Like that's what
Yes.
it's giving. Yeah.
And
Right.
it's so disingenuous and ugh.
So crowds of anti-protesters have taken to marching into Jewish neighborhoods under the watchful eye of police officers instructed to practice de-escalation rather than what Jesse would like, which is escalation, rather than make arrests or redirect masked and aggressive extremists as they demand that Canadian Jews, quote, go back to Europe. Okay, he's cherry picking a quote from his podcast.
Again.
There have been some noxious characters at these protests. I remember there was one thing he reported on that he was saying that a particular corner, I don't know, it was Bloor and Spadina or something like that. I forget which one. There were like, extremists shouting about Jews and this and that. And it was pointed out to him that like there are wackadoodle Christian anti-Semites who stand on that corner and preach, have been for years all the time. And he was
Young and Dundas, yeah.
Young and Dundas, exactly.
Yeah.
And he was Yonge Street, Canada's or North America's longest street, right? Goes all
Young
the way
and
up to
Dundas?
Dundas.
Yonge Street and Dundas. Yeah.
Young and Dundas, full of cum. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Anyway, and Jesse made it sound as if these people were part of this new crop of anti-Zionist, pro-Palestine protests. And when it was pointed out to him by his guest that that's not what was being said, he doubled down on it and he wouldn't issue a correction. Anyway, that's just how honest he is. In the immediate aftermath of the Bondi Massacre, an intelligence report from Canada's Integrated Threat Assessment Center leaked to the press. Sounds legit.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
I think it's in
I
someone's
gotta write
basement.
that down. Yeah.
TAC. Oh, ITAC.
ITAC.
CITAC. Yeah. Just go ahead.
Warning that that Canada faces the same anti-Jewish extremism as Australia, and that, quote, the Jewish community in Canada could be targeted by a violent extremist actor or actors. It could?
A violent extremist actor? What, Mark Ruffalo?
It's Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem. How much have you ever lost in a coin toss? Man, yeah. This is him trying to he's trying to steal valor from Bondi, and it's like this weird thing where it's just like, oh, we're next, guys, is such a strange and inappropriate way to frame this, talking about anti-Semitism, especially since I am someone who cares whether or not anti-Semitism spreads. I care about that. I don't want it to spread. And all of this shit to me is just adds to my worries about the continuing spreading of anti-Semitism. Because what happens from this? What is this a call for? It's a call for criminalizing all of these people. It's a call for considering students who say Free Palestine as, doing hate speech.
Yeah.
And it's a call for increasing the centrality of Jewish insecurities in the repression and authoritarian crackdown on free speech. What do you think is going to increase anti-Semitism more than that? We don't do this podcast to decrease anti-Semitism, but we sure like it when we hear from people that listening to us and our guests has kept people from going over the conspiratorial edge. And I don't judge someone who might be tempted after 3 years of this shit or 80 years of this shit to associate what Israel does with the Jewish people, because Israel insists on that, and people like Jesse insist on it too.
Yeah.
We're trying to do something else. Jesse says it was a bizarre warning considering the threats that had already taken place. Well, it was a bizarre warning, but he doesn't mean that. 2 Ottawa teenagers face terrorism and explosives charges for plotting to kill a large crowd of Jews who assembled together at the nation's capital in the fall of 2023. Do you know anything about this, Samira?
No.
Okay. No. A father and son, Ahmed and Mustafa Eldidi, were
fall
arrested
of 2023. Okay.
Yeah. were arrested in 2024 in a hotel room where they were found shooting a video while wielding a machete and an axe. Okay, so they were doing a WWE promo.
Cutting a
and
promo.
in the advanced stages of plotting a serious violent attack, according to federal law enforcement. A member of parliament later confirmed that the LDDs were plotting to murder Jews. Ooh, a member of parliament confirmed it. A 20-year-old student named Mohammed Shahzab Khan was arrested in Quebec, also in 2024. He was driving to New York where he planned, quote, to use automatic weapons to kill as many members of our Jewish community as possible, according to U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton. Okay. I don't know anything about those cases. I'm not going to dispute them.
No, yeah, I don't need. You don't need to dispute them in order to see very clearly sort of what he is utilizing them for. Whether or not you believe it is a synagogue being, firebombed by a Nazi or a pro-Palestine, like the realities of it are the utilization of it for this one very specific purpose, which is to generate more and more fear within the Jewish community and to start criminalizing all this shit. That's what this is. That's what this is for. And the fact that he calls it bizarre, it was a bizarre warning considering the threats that had already taken place. So in what way is it bizarre? Are you mad that you got the warning? Like, yeah, no shit,
That's what he's saying, yeah.
No shit, idiot. Like
little too late.
Too little, too late, and it's just like, there's no winning. Then there's no winning. Literally, I don't know this fucking ITAC thing, and you're already mad at it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
In Canada, the anti-Zionist movement is not constrained to downtown marches or college encampments. It targets Jews where we live, where we worship, and where we send our kids. An Orthodox father in Montreal was beaten in front of his kids. A Jewish grandmother was stabbed in an Ottawa supermarket by a man later discovered to have a virulently anti-Semitic online presence.
Okay.
Synagogues are routinely vandalized. One was hit 10 times. A Jewish deli was burned down, and a Jewish girls' school was shot at 3 times. Recently, someone tore mezuzah prayer scrolls off every doorframe in a building housing elderly Jewish residents, including Holocaust survivors.
Oh, Samira, you're shaking your head.
What's that head shake about?
No, because this is a building, okay, that was predominantly Jewish people live there, elderly people. It is cameras like up the wazoo to check on the mezuzahs. Nothing.
The wazoozas. Sorry.
Yeah. That same synagogue that's been hit 10 times.
Yeah.
There are cameras everywhere. Why aren't they catching these people? Like, I don't get it. Somebody walked around and took off mezuzahs on every single floor.
Yeah,
Who the fuck did that?
Right.
Spider-Man?
Right. It's just an anti-Semitic web that just pulls it down. Yeah,
A hand reaches down from the ceiling.
I mean, that's, people, I think often, I look at these things and I also do the same thing. I question, I'm like, okay, well, am I going to see video of this happening? And I'm willing to believe that these things happen. It's like, even if everything was just some sort of like Zionist false flag, I don't like ascribing that to events that happen, because it doesn't matter to me whether or not this event happened. What matters to me is that you are solely focused on the Jewish community to a degree where you are allowing the Jewish community to continue supporting genocidal policies. You continue not critiquing.
He never does that. He never does that. He will never do that. He has never critiqued any of that. And at the same time, Jesse doesn't mention that while all of these incidents occur where nobody's actually hurt, nothing actually has happened. I mean, there was the grandmother who was shopping in the kosher section, and this crazy man stabbed her. We still don't know if he stabbed her because she was in the kosher section of the grocery store. I mean, that, of course, Sija jumped on it. But the fact is
was he an anti-Zionist, or was he just an anti-Semitic kook?
Who knows? Who knows? But the point is that while he's saying all of these things, Muslims are being driven over, families are being killed, people are being shot up in mosques. A man who was a Muslim identifying man was beat the shit out of by this Nazi who said, you know, you're Muslim, you come into this country, blah, blah, blah. The level of vitriol and anti-immigrant sentiment in Canada is out of control right now.
Yeah.
And these Zionist organizations are feeding into it. They're talking about the Muslim population growth in Canada, how it's out of control, that they breed like rabbits. I mean, it's disgusting, the language that's being used by these groups. And that's okay to Jesse.
Well, not only is it okay to Jesse, but it's like he, at this point, has decided to make it his brand or his business to say,
oh, it's good for business.
Some of you liberals need to hear this, and I'm sorry that I have to say this, and I have to be the one who says it. But when the right talks about the existential threat that Islam poses to the West, they're kind of right. That is his line on this, is like, we have to be honest with ourselves about the amount of anti-Semitism we are importing to our country. And I'm like, wow, this all sounds very familiar. This all sounds like
I don't understand why people can't put that together in their brains. I really don't.
He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's saying. He knows what it sounds like, and he's almost sorry about it. But the truth of it is that he is still a willing participant in all of this. And I see this in the United States too all the time. And to me, what Canada actually needs is to have a Donald Trump just to put things into perspective.
We came very close. Don't
no, I know. But what I mean by that is, like, I saw the exact same talking points about the United States and this increase in anti-Semitism, and Jesse often ignores that. He goes, no. The real increase is really happening in Canada. It's so much worse in the United States. A bunch of Jesse Brown ass people in the United States were talking exactly this way. And now what do you see? What you see is using Somali Muslims as a pretext to go and occupy Minneapolis. Where does the power actually lie? It does not lie.
Wild.
It doesn't lie with the fucking,
I don't know, you guys.
The immigrant community. It lies with the federal government, who is very, very willing to invent a pretext, it's on behalf of their own racist immigration policy. So what you're going to see, Jesse Brown, is hopefully not, I hope not, but what you're going to see is what it really looks like when groups of people are being targeted by, the federal government. People.
I don't know, guys. Look, the day I believe you that Jews aren't facing structural inequality and dehumanization and marginalization from the Canadian law enforcement is the day that I see a Montreal cop deliver a bag of Saint Viateur bagels to Zionists calling for death to Arabs, or selling illegal land parcels in the West Bank. Let's finish this goddamn op-ed because it ends with such a bang.
Yeah.
Or it ends with a
whimper.
It ends with gunshots on a butt dial. It does. It ends with a whimper. It ends with a whimper, as does all of Jesse's whining. Canada prides itself on its diversity and tolerance. So how did this situation come to be? Theories abound. I specialize in them. I see a plug coming.
Oh my God, he said DEI.
No.
Some blame the rise of DEI training within policing. I blame the rise of PEI training within policing, which has to do with Prince Edward Island. Some blame the woke ideology of former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Some blame his new girlfriend, Katy Perry. Some blame the rapid influx of Muslim immigrants. Canada's Muslim population has almost tripled over a 20-year period. There's the Zog whistle right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
There it is.
And here's the plug. That's an incredible paragraph. Theories abound. Lots of people are saying.
Yeah,
Ooh,
some people.
It's a Trump ass free associative paragraph, right?
Yes, and also when you say
thank you for your attention to this matter.
It's some blame. You blame.
That's right. After months of investigating this crisis for a new podcast series, hyperlinked "What is Happening Here," I can offer this point of understanding.
Yo.
He's going to boil it down, folks. He's going to synthesize it. Nearly every demand that anti-Zionist protesters have made of the Canadian government has been met. I can think of a couple that haven't.
That's such bullshit.
Canada has recognized the Palestinian state, denounced the Israeli government, cut arms exports to Israel, and seen Palestinian flags flown at city halls nationwide. Okay, let's think of some demands of anti-Zionist protesters have made of the Canadian government that have not been met, shall we?
No, those are the only ones. Those are the only ones that I'm sure you had. You know, that's why most of the chants are from the river to the sea, Palestine. Well, we have 3 demands. Number 1, recognize the state. Number 2, denounce Israeli. Like, it's a long chant, but that whole Palestine will be free part is, of course, well, it's not even in there really.
They got everything they wanted.
Everything they wanted.
They got everything.
Now, in terms of cutting arms exports to Israel, I would love to know what. Okay, yeah, I would love to know whether or not it's a lie or not.
That's a lie.
Cut as in like reduced by a certain increment.
No way. Have they reduced it though?
No, they're using a U.S. loophole. So what they're doing is they're sending it to the United States, and the United States is sending it there.
What the fuck?
Okay, Samira, but I'll tell you this. That's fine. But I'll tell you this in defense of our great nation, you self-hating Canadian. Okay. Nah. Prime Minister Mark Carney has been named by Trump to sit on the Gaza board of directors, right?
God,
the international conglomerate that's going to govern the viceroy, right? And guess what he said? He said, not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture, not until there's more transparency, until some more humanitarian aid gets to the Palestinians. We need to see that aid flowing before we take over and become the
51st state.
Exactly. Before Mark Carney is installed as the head fucking blackjack dealer at the Gaza casino.
But don't forget, it was also Carney who said, we want to see a Zionist Palestinian state.
No way. He said it.
He said it twice. The second time was to Christian Amanpour.
What more do these anti-Zionist protesters want?
Yeah. That's crazy. We want to see a Zionist Palestinian state. But just Israel. You just say like that's crazy. All right.
We want a Palestinian state in which the history books teach that from 1948 until the establishment of the state was the golden era of Palestinian life.
That's right.
It was the good old days.
Mm-hmm.
So,
no, it continues.
Having laid out that all 3 of anti-Zionist protesters' outrageous demands have been met.
DEI, immigration.
Wokeness.
What were the columns? Wokeness, DEI, immigration. Okay.
And the demands: recognize Palestinian state, denounce Israeli government, cut arms exports to Israel, and Palestine flags flown at city halls.
Flag. Yeah.
Okay, so
make
the
all
demands
Canadian
have been
Jews
met.
Gay. All right, all those have been met, and the harm towards Canada's Jews just gets worse. So here is my conclusion. He's going to put on his conclusion cap here. You ready for the closure of the syllogism? Right. Theories abound. And so do conclusions. Here's my conclusion. It's not worse here despite anti-Zionist protesters getting what they demanded. It's worse here because of it.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant.
I love it. And that is how he ends it.
That's
brilliant. This is what I deduce. I'm surprised I haven't seen, there's no deduce in that.
It's, you know what's brilliant about it too?
I ascertain. That Kids in the Hall skit where the guy can't stop using the word ascertain.
Ascertain, yeah. No, like what I love about him, his conclusion there is like what I have ascertained through my research into crime statistics of hate crimes against Jews is that it's worse because of anti-Zionists. And it's like, okay, at this point, if you have done enough research to ascertain some things, perhaps you could do enough research to ascertain why those stats are the way they are, and maybe stop using them to scare yourself into a frenzy. And, you know, I hate to be dismissive of someone's mental health crisis, but like at some point you have to look in the goddamn mirror and ask myself, why am I the only person. Why are people so convinced? Why are my peers? Why are my other journalist peers?
My employees.
My employees.
Why are my employees all leaving?
Yes, my friends. And if you truly are going to sit there and look at yourself and say it's them, it's not me, then I can't help you. I don't know what to tell you.
Jesse Brown is in his Orson Welles years. I mean,
I said that.
Did you?
But not
because he looked like Jesse.
Because we saw a clip of him, and I was like, wow, he's really leaning into the Orson Welles thing. But you mean something else.
That's what it reminds me of. It's this sort of he has serious delusions of grandeur.
Yes,
and really doesn't care about what is going on it's just navel gazing, and it's really good for business. I mean, in one of the speeches he gave in a synagogue last year, he brought me up as like
I thought you meant he brought you up to do it.
No.
Aliyah.
Come up to the pulpit.
All right, this next person we got to this stage. Hey, Jews.
He brought up all these journalists of color. He used all of us in his speech, all female journalists of color.
Right.
As
his main target.
As we're going down the slippery slope of anti-Semitism. It's disgusting.
It really is.
Well, he needs to quit. He needs to quit Canadaland, start his own nightly show called Ascertainment Tonight.
Yeah. And,
he can do that with Ben Mulrooney. E-Talk and Ascertainment Tonight.
And he can still stay in his Orson Welles phase and just have the sponsor be Paul Masson champagne.
Do it, Matt. Do it.
The French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There's a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, like the best champagne. Paul Masson is vintage, dated.
Sorry, this is an outtake of a commercial he did when he was too drunk. But Jesse Brown, you could probably figure some stuff out with your mind. And you know what? I wouldn't be totally against. Never mind. I don't think you would do this podcast.
We should.
I think you just gave Jesse Brown an idea. Don't.
No.
We should challenge him to a charity hockey game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Between the Badasbara podcast and its listeners and its crew and the Canadaland one, and we can do it with our shirts off, and we can call it brown shirts against skins.
Oh yeah. Brown shirts against thin skins. I like that. But anyways, thank you to Jesse Brown for always being around to talk about on this podcast. And thank you to Samira Mohyeddin for coming on and talking with us. Where can people
it's fun.
Oh yeah. I had
Patreon.com/OnTheLineMedia. Also On the Line Media on YouTube.
Yes.
And you can catch some of my columns in the Globe and Mail.
Yes. And we will have all of those links in the show notes. Please click on them. Please subscribe. You do fantastic work. And I thank you so much for talking with us about all this stuff. Patreon.com/Badasbara. Badasbara@gmail.com for your questions, comments, and concerns. All right, everyone. Thanks again so much for listening. And until next time, from the river to the sea.
Anti-Semitic butt dials coming to Canada imminently.
Yeah.
Jumping jacks was us. Push-ups was us. Krav Maga us. All karate us. Taking Molly us. Michael Jackson.